auditorium.
They just finished an announcement for 6 p.m. in the auditorium. There's going to be a thing for poets. It's going to be 8 local poets, I think. But so as you guys already know, I cannot use footage from the actual homeless shelter because that will get me put out, which is why I'll just tell the stories from here when I'm away from the shelter. And which, by the way, what I'll probably just use B-roll of me walking around downtown while I'm talking and just overlay the talking on top of that, so it's not as boring and it's a lot more engaging. And there was an interaction this morning between 2 men, both black and older. One was regular and the other one was
Good evening, Central Library. We have Books and Rooks Chess Club happening right now in the atrium, the second floor, the largest room in the building. There is free and open to everyone casual chess, as well as a free and open unrated tournament tonight. Blitz tournament, 5-minute time control. If you would like to play in the Blitz tournament, please come down to the atrium immediately and sign up. The play will begin promptly after 6 o'clock.
Okay, I need to record this quickly because I'm a chess grandmaster. They don't want to play with me. But there was an interaction this morning between 2 men. One was regular and the other one was mentally unstable. And the mentally unstable man had his shirt backwards. And he was walking around. He was sitting down, just scooting his feet around. And I'm gonna go to that chess really quick after I finish this call because I know how to play chess.
Okay, go on down. Show them what you got.
Yes, sir. Floor 2. Floor 2.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. 15 minutes. All right. I'll be over there quickly.
Right.
And then the mentally unstable man was scooting around and stuff, and he was sitting down. And the one that was regular said, you need to get up and give space for him, because I was standing in the middle of the bathroom with my stuff in a chair. I was standing because the whole bench was occupied. And the mentally unstable man said, who, him? And the regular man said, yeah, him. And then the mentally unstable man said, I wasn't even trying to make problems with another black man. I wasn't even trying to fight you. And the regular man said, I didn't want problems either. And the mentally unstable man was holding a golden fork. And I looked away, I looked down to sit down, and then I looked up at him and he had the golden fork in his hair. And then I looked at the regular man and I said, thanks for looking out for me. Because I actually slept close to the regular older gentleman. He slept in the same dorm as me. And the one that was mentally unstable, he looked like his hair he had just gotten off a motorcycle. And then today I called the 2 places that are based on income. It's actually not, the first place was dead. The number didn't, I didn't get to a person, but the second place, it's not actually income based, it's income restricted. And because I already told you guys how little freedom I have at the homeless shelter. But she gave me an email. I said, this leads to a direct email. And then because she told me it goes from $930 a month up to $1,300 a month or somewhere in between that. She asked me about my income and I said, my income is definitely lower than that. The ballpark is definitely under that. She asked for an offer letter from my job. I forwarded that to her and I made sure to ask if the email goes directly to her. She said yes. And I didn't hear back, so I think they're probably ignoring me or just not responding, knowing my luck. So here's how my day goes when I'm not working. I go to Horizon House to get a sack lunch. Then I go across the street to Second Helpings to get another sack lunch. So now I have 2. And when I'm not working, I go to the library here. And you can see that I'm up against the wall again. And yeah, sometimes I go to Horizon to wash clothes, but you have to schedule that in the future. Like if you want to wash clothes this week, I have to tell them on Monday, and they might schedule me early morning on Wednesday. Like I just went there today and scheduled laundry for this Friday. But yeah, I always try to leave the whole shelter, the homeless shelter, to avoid the people that cough 9 million times a day. There's one African guy who speaks French. He's on a wheelchair, and I saw him come out of the shower with a towel one time, and he looked like he weighed 90 pounds. He had absolutely no fat and no muscle. You know, there will be random times where he just starts coughing like 10 times in a row, and then he just goes back to normal, like, and he doesn't wear a mask. And within my first 2 weeks, I left the shelter, then came back, and I was always wearing a mask after that, ever since I came back to the first homeless shelter with all the crazy people. I didn't know if I started wearing it shortly before I left the original homeless shelter, though, because there was a brief period starting on October 13th and continuing on for 2 or 3 weeks where I had this horrible coughing fit, where every time I would try and go to sleep, it would only come up when I would lay down for bed. And I would take 2 acetaminophen every 6 hours for the 5 days I was at the residential center, the one that's a lot better. And I would take vitamin C tablets every morning, and I was taking cough drops because they had some. I also get out of the shelter as often as I can for practically all day, in order to avoid the people that are looking for fights. Certain types of personalities are easily aggravated over there, and sometimes that personality is what got them into that situation. Like I said in the last video, the type of homeless people that are nuisances are the ones that are always trying to sit next to someone and invade your personal space and bother you when you don't say anything to them. Then there's the dirty, unsanitary ones. Some of them check both of those boxes. Then there's the ones that are looking for a fight. Then there's the ones that are addicted to drugs and just acting crazy. Like, if you're going to be homeless, work on yourself. Don't be homeless and be a nuisance. Some people live in houses, but they do pranks and stuff. They do, some people who are homeless, they do their thing. They take showers and they use programs that are meant to be used, that are meant to get you out of that situation. They don't stay at the homeless shelter for 10 days, then do nothing. Then they get kicked out because they did not get an extension. So they leave, then come back the next month and use up their 10 days again. I can hear this guy talking right here. But I've been consistently sleeping under the roof of homeless shelters since September 28th because I'm always talking to case managers and updating them. And I now have a job after less than a month of being downtown. They say fighting at the homeless shelter leads to a permanent ban, but one guy I was talking to, I haven't seen him here for a while anymore, but he got into a fight with somebody and he got kicked out, and I think he was gone for 3 days, I believe. But then they let him back in after investigating, I guess. But they still say you're going to get banned no matter who started the fight. So there's a lot of rules that the residents don't follow and don't actually get enforced as strictly. Like how there's a sign that says no electronics allowed in the dorm rooms, but everyone still brings electronics. Some people have laptops. And by the way, as far as sanitation goes, I take a shower every single day. I've successfully taken a shower every day since I've been in this system on September 28th. I put on shampoo and conditioner both in my hair almost every day since I've been in this predicament. And every day I wear new clothes besides pants, which I can wear for maybe up to 3 days, especially if I'm not working. That way I don't smell like fried grease when I go to the library on my off days, like today. But I definitely put on a new shirt, new underwear, new socks every day. And I always use deodorant. They provide that stuff for free, and it's crazy how many people still don't utilize those things. And every day I was brushing my teeth, and at that time I would floss. At nighttime I would floss, then brush my teeth. Then while I was at the residential center, sometime after October 17th, I got a hold of my mouthwash from a friend, a buddy of mine who is holding all my stuff. He's been holding it ever since I got evicted. Then I brought my mouthwash back, and I'm using mouthwash every morning and every night. And then when I'm when I am working and I get back super late, because I'll be by myself, I think what I'll do is I'll probably put on sweatpants, then do my workout for that day, do it super early in the morning, then take my hygiene products and my change of clothes, take it upstairs, then take my shower for the day, and then get my 2 towels, get my 2 covers, so I don't have to deal with the other guy that I talked about, the one who works in the daytime. I can just deal with the overnight crew because they're super chill with me. And I need to start uploading videos on the day of, because I had a video from one day about 2 weeks ago, about maybe 3 Sundays ago, explaining why I stopped uploading. It was from about over 2 weeks ago, I believe. It was definitely on Sunday because I was at a new church. But I still have not uploaded that. So that's coming out. And yeah, there was a food drive yesterday. There was a conversation where an old man was talking about they had so many apartments, they ain't offer me not one. That woman picks and chooses who gets approved. And this old man was talking about a group home. He was like, there was a woman, this homeless man, we were both at the same food drive. This homeless man was like, there was a woman who brought a whole bunch of toilet paper. Someone broke in her room and stole all her toilet paper. I want to be around MFers my age. He said he wants to be around people his age. Me personally, I'm never going to live in a group home or group setting or anything like that, you know. Luckily, I don't struggle with alcohol or substance abuse issues. One of my coworkers at a new job is in sober living. So he has a curfew where he has to be back. He might be in his 40s, late 40s, maybe early 50s. I know because I asked him to cover my shift if he could. And he said he is in sober living, so he has a curfew. You know, within the next year or so, me personally, I plan to be making like 500 a day, hopefully. And I also wanted to talk about like this past Thursday or Friday night, there was a pin sitting on the floor in the dorm. I'm on the 2nd floor. I was looking down. There was an old man who walked inside the dorm, and he was like, "Is this your pin?" And I said, "No, sir." I was like, "No, sir." And then he said, "Don't say sir to me. I'm nobody." And I said, "Oh, come on," because I'm always respectful like that. That's just how I am. And then maybe Thursday or Friday morning, I was in the shower and somebody was talking to the security, and the homeless person living there was saying, what would have happened if it wasn't on camera? He kept asking that question, and I guess the security guard probably, before I heard the conversation, the security guard probably said, "You're lucky it was on camera," or something like that. But I don't know for sure what the security person said, the overnight security guy said, to prompt that response from the homeless person who kept saying what would have happened if it wasn't on camera. And then last night, somebody was sleeping in the day room downstairs. They were laying down on the floor, the hard floor. I think they were sleeping on their shoes. They had a cover on them or something. Officially, the rules of the shelter state that you can only sleep upstairs on the 2nd floor because there's only 2 stories. But people downstairs, when they sleep, they usually sleep on the tables when they're sitting down. They sit on a chair and lay their head down on the table. Even though, there's a paper that says, please do not lay your head down. A bunch of rules and stuff that are not disregarded and are not enforced. One of the staff members told him when he was laying on the floor, he was like, "You got to get up." And then the homeless person that was laying down said, "Talk to me like a man. Don't talk to me like no kid." And then the staff member turned around and was like, "Who are you talking to?" And the homeless person said, "You." And the homeless person did not get put out for that interaction because I saw him later on. It's just different types of attitudes. I personally would have just said okay and got up. So it's 5:59 right now. I'm going to go to that chess place. The marathon video is coming out because I recorded different marathons every year since 2018. It's one. I've only done one marathon every year, except I tried one in 2019 in a different city, but I failed to complete that one. But I want to get this one actually uploaded, and someone's calling me.
Oh, we need a bunk.
Well, I lost, but at least I have enough time to upload my videos. I'm a super casual chess player, and I play on the second easiest difficulty on multiplayer chess. And there's another multiplayer chess app that only had a few difficulty levels, but I found it too difficult. But yeah, I already lost only a few minutes later.